All right, here's our Week 8 AP poll. I can't wait till the CFB Nation poll comes out. I sent it out a day late. That's my fault. Hopefully we can get that to you guys by Wednesday morning. So it's the AP top 25. We got Ohio State coming in at number 1. Definitely the best team in the country. Miami coming in at number 2. Indiana coming in at number 3 after they were able to upset Oregon this week. Texas A&M coming in at 4. Ole Miss coming in at 5. There's a team who really disappointed me this weekend. I expected that game, Washington State, because I seen people put up points on Washington State. I expect that to be what I like to call a recruit tape. Bring you a bunch of recruits in. We about to put on a show. We're going to show you why you guys should choose Oxford over Tuscaloosa, over Knoxville, over Nashville, over Athens. Come in here. That's a recruit tape. That was supposed to be a recruit tape game, and what you got was almost heartbreak and heartache. So, Ole Miss is number 5. I still believe in them. Alabama number 6. They're just trending in the right direction. I keep going back to this. It's one of my favorite sayings this college football season. Every college football season I have favorite sayings. This is definitely my favorite. Think about how you felt about Alabama, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, August 30th. Think about how you feel about them now. And think about how it changed. That's incredible to me. That's absolutely incredible to me. Texas Tech, number 7. Them dudes, all they do is win. Joey McGuire's got him a team. Offensively, they've always been sound. But they kind of got an SEC swagger this year. Should I be saying that about a team from Lubbock? They're playing outstanding defense. Like them a lot. Oregon fell down a few spots. They're down to number 8. Georgia's at 9. They're up a few spots. LSU's up a few spots. Tennessee almost lost to Arkansas. And Petrino had them boys looking better. I have to admit it. Some people don't want to admit it because we don't want to see that again because we've seen it before. It's deja vu all over again. But yeah, Petrino definitely had them looking better. Tech at 12. Tech continues to be disrespected. Tech continues to be disrespected. Undefeated. Haven't lost yet. I know they had some close calls. I know it was a controversial call versus Wake Forest. But why aren't they in the top 10? Tennessee has a loss. LSU has a loss. Why isn't Georgia Tech in the top 10? Look who's trending in the right direction. Notre Dame. Notre Dame. Great win versus NC State over this weekend. OU down a few spots after the loss in the Red River rivalry. BYU almost lost this weekend. The fact that they was able to get it together and win that game. Me and Moon both had the feeling, and shout out to my dog, Dante from East Coast Gridiron. He had the feeling as well that Noah Fafita will be playing better than he played last year this year. And they gave BYU a serious scare. Missouri down to 16. Season's not lost. I'm going to talk about Missouri a little bit this weekend. And I was unimpressed with a few things, and I'll talk about those things shortly. We got Vandy at 17. The Cavaliers of UVA. I got to get to a UVA game this season. They're at 18. USF looked incredible Friday night. I know people saw that score and was like, North Texas frauds. I'm telling you, this game comes down to a couple plays. And if a couple plays can break you emotionally, like they had the fumble right before halftime in that game, and right after that, you just saw the USF train. It's going to be hard for South Florida to keep Alex Golesh. On a stage like that, Friday night in the American, dude, Navy. I didn't even bring up Navy this week. But first of all, why aren't they in the top 25? I get it. They were in a close game with Temple. But did you see the miracle in Philadelphia? That's what I'm coining it. I'm coining it the miracle in Philadelphia. 4th and 1. Blake Horvath decides to go 50. Do you watch college football or do you just skim through it? That'd be my question. That's why I asked. Like, do you watch college football or do you just watch all the big games of college football? Do you just watch your team? Do you just watch the conferences? Because I'm an NFL casual. People don't understand that about me. I'm not a casual Buffalo Bills fan. I love the Buffalo Bills. I can break down all the Buffalo Bills problems right now. So, yes, I'm a fanatic, but I'm a casual NFL fan. I am the opposite, whatever the opposite of casual is with college football, because I will watch any college football game. That is, the Bills not on. I did not watch a game yesterday. My dad was saying, yeah, George Pickens one of the best receivers in the league. I said, based on what? Because I'm just, not saying that George Pickens is a bad receiver. I went and checked the stats. I said, oh, he's dominating. Like, I am a casual NFL fan. I tell everybody that, but college football is different. Did you watch the miracle in Philadelphia? It looked like Evan Simon had just sealed the deal for his team in Temple, and their fans were ready to rush the field. One of the best games this past weekend that a lot of people aren't talking about, and Blake Horvath said, not so fast. In the great words of Lee Corso. Just great scene there in Navy and them. Because we have a close approximation with Navy. Navy has shouted us out for our coverage at the American Media Days. Blake Horvath mom gave us a gold. Parents were really nice. Blake Horvath, stand-up dude. This kid can play on Sundays. You know, after graduation, they have that 5-year obligation. I think the NFL is going to come calling for this kid. This kid just makes a lot of plays. You didn't see a worry on anybody's face on the Navy sideline. Look at the other sideline. And the team that I respect, the coach I respect, and Casey Killer, I just have the utmost respect for Casey Killer. They look like they had won. And that's the danger. Like, yo, we about to upset Navy, about to be partying and that. You know how it is on the sidelines, right? And then they won that. So, yeah, why Navy is in the top 25, I'm not sure. SC, great win. We're going to talk about them a little bit later, so I'm not going to say too much about them. Texas, great win. Welcome back to the top 25. That can be one of those games, those resolve games, though, the type of game that later on in the season, you enter in a tough moment, you can say to yourself, hey, we've been here before. We had a tough loss versus Florida. You know, their schedule isn't going to get any easier. Tough loss versus Ohio State, right? But you look at those type of games, and it sets you up and it prepares you for a game against a really physical Oklahoma team with their quarterback was just coming back, and Texas wasn't having it at all. So shout out to them. I think Memphis is third in longest home game winning streak. I think it's like over 10 or 12 games. Shout out to them, and they defend their home. Over the summer during American Media Days, Moon sat down with Ryan Silverfield, one of my best favorite interviews this past summer, just because of the amount of intel, the amount that Ryan Silverfield trusted my dog CFB Moon with. And he was like, yo, we defend our home. And he said, hey, last 10 years, we number 3 with most home wins. So they really defend their home. And the proof is in the pudding, man. We got the Utah Utes coming in at number 23. She'll be looked outstanding this week versus Arizona State. Really impressive win. Cincinnati is at 24. Cincinnati, I think, is a wild card. Now, you know, we 7 weeks through this season. We start to figure out who teams are, who teams aren't, who are the contenders, who are the pretenders. I think I look at a team like Cincinnati. Cincinnati can spoil some people's parties. Don't be surprised. And there's some lower level teams in that conference too that can spoil or perceived lower level teams, like a Colorado just beat Iowa State. What do we do with Houston? Houston just had a big win this weekend. Things about to get really interesting in the Big 12. That's our top 25. I do have a few takeaways from it, to be completely transparent with you guys, but I ain't mad at it at all. Like I said, Ole Miss a little disappointing because I thought they could have had a recruit tape game. They didn't have that recruit tape game. I tell you who did. That guy, Curt Cignetti. People want to go in Indiana and play for him. I'm telling you that he's on his villain art. So I'm not mad at it at all. But there's some games this upcoming week that could really shake up the poll. We got Ole Miss versus Georgia. That's 5 and 9 per the polls at this moment. Third Saturday in October. Doesn't get better than that week of college football. The third Saturday in October, we get Bama, team from Tuscaloosa. We get Tennessee, the team from Knoxville, and that's going to be an All-American Southern showdown. I'm telling you, that's what we're going to get out of that. Notre Dame and USC. We are not worthy. I'm telling you, we are not worthy. There are certainly some games that can shake up the entire sphere of college football, and I'm not sure if we're ready for it, because you looked at this weekend, and this weekend told you, you know, everything that you thought you knew about college football, you didn't know about college football. But just think about the games that we have next weekend. Guess who else plays next weekend? Holy War is next weekend. BYU versus Utah. We are not worthy. I continue to tell you guys that, but y'all don't listen to me. We are not worthy. What happened to TCU, by the way? I saw my dog Squid Ten Toes put something on Twitter about that. I didn't get to see that game. I wonder what happened in that game. I don't know. But let's get into our reactions. We got 3 major reactions before we get into our Black Sunday segment. If you never watched the show, on the right-hand side, far right, that's our rundown. And you just follow that to know what topic we're on. So that's an AP poll. Each and every week it gets more difficult for these AP poll voters. Last week was the first week I've ever had sympathy for them. I'm like, this is difficult. This week I'm like, yeah, I also got sympathy for them. I got sympathy for myself because I got a poll I got to do as well for the CFP Nation poll. But all in all, I'm not mad at it. This is shaping out really well. And the beautiful thing about the season is it'll start shaping itself out. Even if we have weeks like that, the Haley Sawyer week, and we have weeks where poll voters just didn't know who won for some way, so for some reason, not sure. But at the end of the day, this thing is really starting to shape out well. Let's go ahead and get to our first reaction, Bama versus Mizzou.